I was probably around 6 when I learned about it, probably through a television show. And then I had a Jewish education, religious education in temple school, whatever. I was confirmed. And I always just felt really connected to the trauma. I am fascinated in a horrific way and craving to understand and to have the information of what happened historically. And I was born in 1961, so that's less than 20 years after the end of the war in 1945. And I think that I felt a lot of it. I mean, the kind of madness of my relatives to assimilate, some of the anti-Semitism that was still prevalent in the kind of extended communities. And I remember, and it's strange, but even growing up in New York, that I was afraid for people to know I was Jewish, or I wouldn't say, I didn't feel safe. And I grew up with Jews around me, and that next door neighbors happened to be Jewish, and my parents had Jewish friends, and then the temple. But I don't think I grew up with tons of Jewish friends by any means. Anyway, down the line, I think that Jewish themes come into my work. But what happened was about 5 years ago, my husband and I took a trip to Eastern Europe and Berlin. And we spent the entire 3 weeks going to concentration camps and going to Jewish museums and exhibits and memorials. And it was, in fact, it was fascinating. It was overwhelming. It was incredibly emotional. And I started writing a lot of poems. And in fact, the title poem of my forthcoming book, which is There Are As Many Songs in the World as Branches of Coral, that poem is about my experience of walking into Birkenau. So have you been to Auschwitz or Birkenau? Or
I haven't been to any concentration camps.
So
and my father's whole family was murdered in concentration camps, so it's something I should do.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Anyway, I have one poem which I haven't finished yet. I'm going to REI and I'm buying a backpack to take to Auschwitz. I'm buying, new hiking boots to take to Auschwitz. I mean, there's like this list, and it's just like so ironic. Anyway, we missed the train to Auschwitz. We missed the bus to Auschwitz. Finally, we had to get a taxi to Auschwitz. We just didn't want to go. When we got there, and you have to stand on line, and you have to pay to get in. You have to pay to use the bathroom. And Auschwitz is very sort of sterilized. The mountains of hair and the mountains of suitcases, everything's encased in glass. And it's very clean, and all the mattresses that, you don't see that much. You don't really, and a lot of people just drop off and they don't go on to Birkenau. We went on to Birkenau, and you pull up to the ominous gates that look like a giant, open mouth ready to, eat you. And I walked in, and I had what we would call in Zen a kensho, which was just like this huge opening, and everything dropped away, and I saw great beauty and great horror. Like everything was shimmering all together, the beauty and the horror. And I was like, it lasted like a week, this experience. And like, I got it to as much as I could if somebody not being in a concentration camp while it was operating. But it's so enormous, Birkenau, so enormous. And it was set up for murder.